How do you feel about your aging? How has it affected your day-to-day life?
Um, I'm really fine with aging. I don't have a problem with getting older. I think you get wiser, and you certainly know a lot more. Um, what I don't like is the health issues, that you want to do certain things and your body just won't necessarily let you do them at the same pace. So you have to learn to pace yourself. But psychologically, I have no problem with aging.
Okay, I think you answered the question that's next, which is about good things about aging. Is there anything else besides the wisdom that you would add?
I do find that in a lot of cases, a person younger than me is a little more respectful, and not all the time, of course, but there are times when people will open the door for me or let me get ahead of them in line. The funny thing is, I don't feel like I'm older, so it always kind of takes me aback that they're having me do this, and I go, oh yeah, I'm an old person. So, but that part's kind of nice.
What kind of doctors do you go to, and for what conditions?
I have a regular family practitioner that I see and get a physical once a year. I don't really see any other doctors unless there's a specific issue, like I've seen a dermatologist for something, but I really don't have chronic issues, so I don't need to see any other kinds of doctors.
But like, would you see like some specialists because there's certain things recommended? Women, breast. Can't think of the term now, but to
Breast
check
cancer,
mammograms. That's
yes.
it.
And that's simply just to walk in. You make an appointment. You walk in. You get the test, and you leave. And I guess, you consider that another type of doctor, but
yeah, we saw that like a colonoscopy is recommended
right.
a certain amount of times. Do you follow like the schedule for all those kinds of conditions?
I do, and the doctor's really good about reminding me if I need to have something done. And recently, I had a bone density test for osteoporosis. Did that, and have gone to some classes for prediabetes and cholesterol, and those are just classes that you can attend.
So how is your interaction with your physicians?
Fine. The physician that I currently have, I've only had for about a year, and she's very attentive and she listens, and will certainly refer me if I feel that I need to have something further done, or she feels like I need to have some further, more of a specialist. So.
Do you feel like you get enough time with her, or does it feel kind of rushed, or how does it feel?
No, I feel I get enough time with her.
Okay. How about in regards to dental health? How's your issues there?
I have checkups twice a year, have my teeth cleaned, and actually have pretty healthy teeth, so I very seldom need to have any work done on them. So that's a regular thing. And again, the dentist reminds me that it's time for my checkup.
Okay. I think you're too healthy for this interview. No,
sorry.
I'm kidding, but no. Have you been? Actually, I think it's a good thing because there's not. We want to get a variety of people, and it's good to show people that not everybody aging has major issues. But have you had any issues with being depressed?
Normally no, but just in like the last 3 months, in all the tests I had for my physical, I found out I was pre-diabetic, high cholesterol, and had osteoporosis. So that was a little bit of a lot to deal with in a short amount of time. And I can say, I think I was, in fact, I went and I saw a psychologist just to talk things out. He was very helpful. And, but I'm the kind of person that bounces back. You just have to deal with each thing. But other than that, I don't get depressed.
Okay. So when you were seeing this psychologist, how often did you go to him, and how long ago was this?
I just went once, and it was last week. And,
okay.
And he was quite helpful, gave me some handouts, and it's just nice to be able to talk about things with someone that is non-judgmental and that also is practiced in that, so you can kind of use them as a sounding board.
Okay. Have you experienced any age discrimination besides the positive experience you had?
I'm going to say no. I don't think I have, but I don't know that I've put myself in a position to have that happen to me. Not applied for any jobs, or I'm not quite, and then where I live is an over 55, so there was no discrimination there. So I think I can say no.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and you mentioned you're treated more respectfully in some cases.
Yes, in some cases.
Yeah.
Depends on the individual.
Now, like within your own kind of mind per se, do you kind of feel like you would have looked back, say back in your 20s, and you looked at other people in their 60s, and then now that you are 66 or 67, is this like what you perceived, or how are you different than
Okay.
perceived?
Yeah, I think I understand. I have to say, in my 20s, I never thought about being 60. I never even gave it a thought. And as I've aged, it's a day-to-day kind of thing, and I don't think of myself as 67. I mean, I think everybody sort of has a plateau where they're comfortable with who they are, and they sort of tend to stay that in their minds. And so I'm much younger in my mind than I really am. But no, I never really gave it too much thought as a teenager or in my 20s, really, about aging. It was just kind of live for the day, sort of. Although I do have to say that I did at least learn to think about finances for when you get older.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did do that. But other than that, no. I never worried about breaking my knees or doing anything like that.
Do you find that, like that, according to your beliefs, that aging involves pain? Is that something that's just part of aging, or how do you feel about the idea of pain?
You mean physical pain?
Physical pain.
Well, I don't like it.
Yeah.
But I think depending on how you take care of yourself, the pain can be minor or it can be major. It just depends. I mean, I've always tried to be active and try to live fairly healthy. I have to say, in the morning when I wake up, I don't just jump out of bed anymore, and I have to do exercises and get my body moving. But I accept that. I realize that's part of aging, and your muscles and your bones don't work the same way. But I certainly try to do as much as I can to avoid that.
Mm-hmm. So, like, is there a lot more recovery from activities or injuries and that kind of thing?
Yeah, there is. In fact, I have a shoulder injury currently, and I've had it for about 6 months. And I've gone to physical therapy, and I've learned exercises, and it's very, very slow in healing, where probably in my 20s I wouldn't, I'd still be doing what I would have done anyway. Yes.
Okay. I think we pretty much covered everything. Well, I know you live in a 55 and older community, and you mentioned moving 4 times in 4 years. Prior to moving the 4 times in 4 years, where had you lived? Did you live in an area for a long period of time? Was it a single family residence? What was it like?
Okay. My husband and I never really lived in one place for more than probably about 7 years, and went from a single level condo to a townhouse. The townhouse for about 5 years, and then we moved into a single family home, bought the family home, and lived there for think another 7 or 8 years, and then that's when I was thinking about retiring. And we sold the house and moved temporarily into an apartment, and couldn't decide what we wanted to do. So we moved into a condo for a year, and then we moved into a single-family house for a year that we leased. And then at that point we decided maybe we wanted to buy again. So that's when we moved into the house that we had for 5 years. And then after that 5 years, then we moved back out here and have been here for almost about 2.5 years. So, but no, we moved a lot.
Okay. And what are the benefits that you found living in a 55 and older community as opposed to living just with you and your husband?
The last place we lived was the house, and it was an older house, and probably everything that could go wrong went wrong, and we put a lot of money into the house, and we finally just said, can't do this anymore. And I was getting, well, both of us were getting very stressed, not knowing what the next thing was going to be that would go wrong. So that's when we sold the house. And when we moved here, it's just lovely because the light bulb goes out and you pick up the phone and you go, I need my light bulb changed. So we have no stress as far as that goes. So it's completely different.
Okay. And were you involved as many activities at the house as you are now? Or how was it different being involved with the activities?
The house took a lot of work, and it was almost a half an acre, so there was a lot of outside work to do. So most of our time was spent around the house doing things that needed to be done there. And one of the reasons I wanted the house is because I wanted to garden. And so in the 5 years that we were there, I got filled up gardening. I don't need to garden anymore. But no, we didn't really have a very big social network there. Where we had moved, we didn't know anybody. So we met the neighbors, but didn't really become friends where we would do things with them. We would, hello kind of a thing. Here, there are a lot of activities that one can do if one wants to. And we have joined numerous activities and met a lot of really nice people. So we definitely have a much bigger social network here.
Okay. So you found it definitely positive moving into a location like this?
Yes.
As well as there's other locations. So you would be open if you needed, like, to maybe even move into an assisted living if it was necessary?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I would, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the amount of, you have no worry here, really. I mean, so if you're stressed or there's just too many things on your mind, there's so much you don't need to worry about here. You can just worry about the things that are personal, like if your finances are bad or you're having family issues or whatever. You don't have to worry about taking care of the house, taking care of the yard, doing any of that kind of stuff. It's very nice.
Okay. And just to, in that regard, so this kind of location, which is independent living,
Right.
I think it's a for-profit organization
Mm-hmm.
that manages it and owns it.
Yes.
But so when you come here, did you have to pay an entry amount, or do you pay like an entry amount? You don't need to get specific amounts of money. But did you pay like an entry amount and then a monthly? Do you pay a monthly fee?
Okay. It's similar to if you were going to lease an apartment or a condo. We did a cleaning fee,
Mm-hmm.
and then we signed a lease, and it was a year lease.
Okay.
And I think they probably have other things. You probably can do month to month if you like, but I think it's more expensive to do it that way. So, but yeah, you pay monthly.
Okay. My understanding, there's a large amount of the places here that are affordable housing, and then there's some that are not.
Right.
How was that handled with like checking with you? Did they just do
Well, when we first came and looked at the apartments, we didn't realize there was affordable housing here.
Mm-hmm.
And like any place, you have to give your financials so they know that you can afford to live here. And I'm assuming, don't know this for a fact, but if our financials were really low, that we would have gone on a list waiting for one of the affordable apartments to be open. But we were financially okay, so we passed and we were able to get an apartment.
Okay. Okay. I believe that's all. Thank you very much, Miss J.
Oh, thank you, Rafe. It's been very interesting.
Yes, and look forward to seeing you in improv classes.
Yes, we can't wait.
Okay. Thank you.